Okay, it's March 3rd. The nights are starting to warm up a little bit, getting into the 40s. It's now inside this hoop house, it's 65 degrees. It's probably 60 outside, or 55 or 60. But I just want to show you all the seedlings. A lot of stuff ready to go out into the garden. I will probably plant out some of the, at least these cabbage plants right here, very soon. I do want to show, this was a small test that I did. Oh wow, looks like these are drying out a little bit. I didn't realize. So these, just gave them a little water. I just noticed they were drying out. That's why these leaves are not looking so great. But anyway, what I did was I used Patio Plus, the Kellogg's Patio Plus, and I mixed some, I took some of it and I mixed it with a certain amount of worm castings. I didn't measure out by volume, but I would say it was probably about 5 to 10% worm castings by volume. I would say no more than 10%. I just wanted to see if there would be a difference, and so I did 2 tests. I split these out into both these small cells and also into a set of bigger cells. And this one on the left, the row on the left is regular Patio Plus, and the row on the right has castings mixed in. I'll give you a better shot of that. So you can sort of see, this one actually they look more similar. At first I was noticing a little bit of a difference, a little bit better or more sides out of the one with the worm castings, but I don't think they're enough to make a difference. I mean, I don't think I see a difference. What I do notice in this, and definitely in the smaller one, is that the side with the worm castings has a little bit paler leaves, a little less green. And for this one, actually, this one I actually saw the regular Patio Plus side. These look a little wilty right now because I think these were a little dry, but ignore that part. But I actually saw that this part was doing better, and this one looks a little paler in color. You can sort of see that it's not due to shadow or anything. Worm castings that I use, and I assume this made a difference, are these. And the problem with these is that it wasn't a fully finished batch. So you can see that there's a lot of worm castings in here, but there are also a lot of uncomposted materials, like pieces of leaves, bits of twigs and stuff like that. And what can happen is if you have some brown material that has not decomposed, what that will do is it'll bind up the nitrogen in the mix, right, or in the soil. That's why you never want to rototill like wood chips into the soil or leaves into the soil or anything that's brown that doesn't have nitrogen with it or is not fully decomposed. So I'm guessing in the mix for these, what happened was there was a little bit too much of this undecomposed stuff mixed in here, and it just bound up some of the nitrogen. I will do another test at another time with fully finished worm castings just to get a better idea. Honestly, I use them. I haven't really done tests like this before, so, but I'm very curious to see if there's a difference or not. I also wanted to show some of these tomatoes. These two in the yogurt cups, they are Jersey Devils. Those are the rest of the Jersey Devils right here. And unfortunately, they started dying on me. I had them inside and some kind of mold or mildew or something, white fungus, was attacking the stems. And so the ones that were outside did not get affected, and the ones that I left indoors, which with very little airflow, did get affected. And mind you, it's not that I don't keep them wet. I don't water them from above. This just happened. And like I've said before, these tomatoes I've had bad luck with every single year. They're prone to disease, in my opinion. I see reviews online about how amazing they are and how much production they will give, but I have yet to. I think I ate one tomato from this plant a few years back, but I'm hoping this year I could get some. So I don't know if I'm going to plant those at all, but at the very least I have these two that might make it through. So these right here, these are the subarctic plenty, and these were the subarctic plenties that were split but left in a smaller set of cells. You can see the difference in size, so it's quite dramatic. So transplanting into bigger cells or planting directly into bigger cells is, you know, will give you a jump start on the size of the tomato. And I want to show something else. These are all my these two cells right here. These are my black cherry tomato plants, and The black cherry I found, like most cherry tomatoes, but the black cherry in particular for me is a very strong and resilient plant, and it grows very well. It's not prone to disease. And I just want to show you, these were all transplanted, split from like multi-sowings at around the same time, and placed. These were placed in a small set of cells. And these plants, a few of these plants at the very least, these were the ones that had sprouted. They've grown just as strong as the subarctic plantae in the bigger cells. So the black cherry is one of the types of tomato plants that you can't really mess up with, in my opinion. Even if the plant gets sick, you will still get a crop, because you'll get a crop pretty quickly. Cherry tomatoes usually will give you a crop, will mature quicker than bigger tomatoes, of course. But if you're unsure, you haven't grown tomatoes, black cherry is a delicious tomato, very sweet, very tasty, and it grows very aggressively, so you'll actually have trouble controlling the plant eventually. So these are my beets, and these will go in the ground soon. These are multi-sown, similar to Charles Dowding's method, where he puts more than one seed in each pot and then he plants them together, and he harvests beets as they're growing. So he'll pick the biggest one and allow the others to get bigger and bigger, so you have a continuous harvest. These right here, these are the Lolla Rossa lettuce that I split, and they're doing beautifully. They're growing very well. They look like they rooted, and they just look like healthy plants. And these are a few different varieties of beets. This one's called bull's blood. That's why it's such a deep red in color. Here's some cilantro I have growing right here. It's just starting to sprout. This was $1.29, so it took a little while. I think they like the cold. This seed is kind of old. It is from, I think, 2012, 2013. So usually with old seed, it takes a lot longer, or sometimes it doesn't sprout at all. So fresh seed, you'll have much better luck. These are Calabrese broccoli. This is the big type of broccoli that you see at the store. It's an Italian variety, but that's basically what you buy at the store. And these I split and I transplanted a few weeks back, and they're looking good. They're probably, maybe these big ones might be ready to plant, but I'll probably wait another week or two before I put them in the ground. And this is stuff that I just planted. There's some melons and some cucumbers and some squashes here too. I planted some acorn squash and some butternut squash. Under here I have some more stuff. This is the peas, and over there I have some stuff that has not sprouted. Some rucola, which sadly I have a lot of old seed, but I'm hoping something will come up, but if it doesn't, no big deal. And up here I have a couple of other things. I have some cabbages, some celery, some marigolds, and here are some lettuce seedlings that I have not yet split. And I might split these. I don't know if these might be too big to split, but I'll give it a shot.